The dirt's atrocious, isn't it? The dirt that is in this place. Again, functions of it being a very old building. Open to the elements, albeit it's got a roof. An awful lot of wind and muck blows in. And believe me, this once was clean and tidy, and just leave it for a little while. And this is what happens. And excuse me, there's some junk storage obviously going on here as well. Let's just have a little look at what we've got. Final panel to go on. Surface rush, because stupidly I kept this particular panel in here for a short while. But of course it's absolutely solid, so that is there to be done. And where it's to go on to has been, that sort of stuff. Not even slightly perforated, there's just the scrappiness which is all around, and it looks an awful lot worse than it is. I do, by the way, intend to dip this, because I don't see any point at all in doing a lot of major work and expense if you don't get it chemically denuded of rust and etched primed before painting it. A lot of attention taken to removing all the old panel, leaving the flange intact. It's got a new outer sill on both sides. I actually saw enough in the original sills, again it was in quite good condition, to just repair those. So I put a couple of patches nicely welded in on the inner sills, so rock solid. Show you something else which is a pain everywhere where there's braze. Dear oh dear, these cars are hard work. I haven't yet dressed down the weld, but I actually cut out the hinge on the back so that I could get into removing all the braze that lives around here, which is horrible. And I put just a new edge on there as well. So that's all available for the new panel to go on to. And yeah, of course, being a factory panel, it fits, which is nice. A little bit of repair, not much. Again, you can't see it here, but it's, you shouldn't be able to see it here. Not dress that down overly, it doesn't need to be dressed down overly, but we've got the flanges in place for the, again it looks slightly scrappy, but it isn't, absolutely solid. This for the new panel to be attached to spot welds or plug welds. Spot welds, I need to get my spot welder down repaired, it burnt out. Floor, absolutely solid everywhere. Underneath the rear suspension, all the way to the front. The only thing that I have done, this thing used to wear once a front anti-roll bar, which came out of, who was the Nathan, what's the guy's name? Aspinall Road, London, provided a lot of bits for this. The guy who first owned it as a Londoner used to use that individual and did some work, put a roll cage on the roll cage. I've pulled it out and I welded it up somewhere around here. Used to pull the floor because it was not strong enough to resist the forces being transmitted into the shell through the roll cage. So, sorry, through the roll bar. Roll bar's gone. That's history. Front wing. Why did I do this? Just a little bit of rust, so I decided to put a new front wing on. Probably wasn't necessary, but I wanted to learn a little bit about how to put a front wing on, ready for the next car. And this isn't rusty, this is just protected. Solid panel, clean panel, factory panel, nice. Same old issues with braze, so I actually cut out and put there, trimmed out from the old panel, a little bit of the lip, and welded that in, and I'll dress that a little bit better, but that's repaired that. Seem to have got away with it at the top. I'll keep the front panel on this one because it doesn't have any rust. I will keep the floor on this one, boot floor, because it doesn't have any rust. Mounted, as you can see, on the spit still. Gosh, it's dirty, isn't it? Just for fun, just for variety, for the other wing. Just ever so slightly dinged there before I owned it, by the way. I've drilled out and plugged all the trim holes. Protected lip, fantastic condition. This one I decided that I would put a repair in here, which I've done, which is fine, and that will be dressed up and look nice. A little work here, again, new outer sill, repaired inner sill, solid floor, and there's the rear panel I put on a while ago. That's just fluff, that's seed, and it's sticking to the ever so slightly oiled panel, and it looks atrocious, but the metal is absolutely fine. Silly me, I put too much heat in there. That's ever so slightly dented, distorted, but I'll get that sorted out, and that shouldn't actually be a problem. And also a little bit of silly me, and a warning to anybody else who does these. Factory sill, you need to trim, or certainly on this car, need to be trimmed to make it fit properly. And I didn't quite do that as well as I would like to have done. Oh, here's the other one, which is always fun, which is the gap there, because there are a couple of spots, 3-4 spots there, which you can't get into to respot. I am not yet quite sure what I'm going to do with that. I like things to be solid. Do I fill that? Do I braze in there? Maybe. Do I weld? Not sure. Good, very good. A lot of fun. Inner wings, would you believe that? Even those are okay. That one's retained. This one, yeah, that was retained as well. Do I put a little patch on this one? Can't remember. But that will be nice when it's all dipped, and it'll be shiny, good metal, one hopes. And here's the design that I used for the spit.